Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also Brink, and we are one. Today, I want to talk about the last month and updates for the Steam Deck. And to be honest, I kind of waited a little bit and didn't cover every single one of these too much unless it was in my live streams because I just wanted some time for this essentially meal to be complete. I was letting some of these dishes simmer and cook because there are just way too many updates to cover in the month of October. It has been an amazing month for updates, and I'm going to cover the most prominent ones today and the ones that you really need to know about because there are some really good ones that include docs, boot videos, and hardware. So make sure to watch the whole video and get updated on what is new on your device. So before we get into that, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. Now, let's get into it. Okay, let's start out with stable updates. First up, we get some boot video Lovin from Valve, where they saw that the community was loving the boot videos that they were making and all that, and being able to customize your deck a little bit further just adds some niceties to having a PC console. It's almost like what the Steam Deck is, where you don't need to do any of this stuff. You can just get in and play games all you want, but you're able to just modify a few things to just make it a little bit better of a home, I guess, for you and your deck. So first up, we have added the ability to skip startup movies by pressing B. And then this next update, increased boot animation max length from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. They pair very well. Now, the first one, pressing B, to skip your startup animation video, was probably introduced because some Redditor decided to put the Shrek movie as his boot up video. And so he had to watch the whole thing before he get into the deck and then go and disable it. Now, he could have gone through the recovery route or some other route, but for a lot of people, they might not realize they could do that. And so who knows? And also to do that, you have to disable some of the, just a setting in the Steam Deck that only allows for 10 seconds. That's why they upped it to 30 seconds, partially so that people can have longer boot videos. And it's based off of how long the video is more than anything. And so both of these are great pairings, honestly, along with the Steam Deck will now look for custom boot videos and or suspend animations in the Steam root config overrides movies path. And instead of having to override your Steam Deck default videos, you're able to now put them in that directory and the Steam Deck will reference those instead of, if they exist, instead of the default video. And so, a lot of trickery that I had to do with some of my scripts and whatnot doesn't need to take place now. And it's a lot easier. It still takes a little bit of work. And that's why I made a repository on my website, gamesrevealed.com, that allows you to just find some boot videos. It allows you to click the button and then you paste it into your console, your terminal in desktop mode, and it should just work. That's all you have to do. Hopefully the plugin that I'm working will be done sooner than later so that you'll have even an easier time of using the boot videos. That's the boot video Lovin that we went through. Now let's go into dock mode, which I've been working on a video doing a comparison of all the different docks, and they've given a lot of love to the dock mode, and that's because Steam or Valve came out with the Steam Deck dock, the official one that is, to usher in, I guess, more dock moding, and because the docking is actually gotten a lot better. I didn't like it in the past as much, and it's certainly gotten much better. With that, we got some improvements to, honestly, a lot of improvements. It almost works perfectly. They just need to make it an easier way to access the quick access menu. But that's besides the point. Let's get into some of the stuff that they've kind of fixed and also added. First up is they added more detection to avoid problems where they were defaulting to like 4K or 30 hertz modes on external displays. Better improving, not having black screens and some other issues that we were having. Then they went on and improved external display hot plug detection. So, when you plug your device in or turn it on, help, awaken the monitor, TV, whatnot. This is a big one. This has honestly been my biggest issue with dock mode since day one. And I can't believe it took this long. They fixed in-game camera control issues when using a physical mouse. Up until now, up until a couple of weeks ago, if you're watching this video the day of, you could not use a mouse for most games in game mode. It would shoot to the ground and just look at the ground. Whatever you did, you couldn't really fix it without any major hacking of your Steam Deck software. At least for me, it was unusable. This is a major problem because I want to take my deck on the go, be able to play some first-person shooters. If I'm going to play my first-person shooters on the go, I am going to play with a keyboard and mouse, and I have portable keyboard mouses. I'm going to be doing a video on my portable setup, and that's in the future, but now it works. The mouse works. This is a big deal for me, a very big deal for me, and I can't believe it took this long, but thank you, Valve. Now let's get onto some of those other big bugs and get those fixed. Also, they fixed the aspect ratio and resolution not properly switching in the Steam UI after reconnecting an external monitor. They also fixed an issue where frames could drop on an external display at lower refresh rates. And I've witnessed both of these, and they still aren't perfect, but it's nice that they're still getting those fixes out there for dock mode. Now, let's go into some of the things that have happened in beta updates in the past few weeks. First up is they've improved the controller support for third-party PS4, PS3, PS5 controllers. I've noticed a great improvement over the past, essentially this last update, and that my PS5 controller works even better. I believe the touchpad was still working fine before it, but it just feels even more responsive. And that's not even a third-party controller. So this is just anecdotal, but it feels like this also might have improved some of the official controllers. Then you can now check out, if you have a Delta or a Hewing fan, you can go to Settings, System, Model Serial Numbers button. And this is very useful because if you need to replace your joysticks, if you need to replace your fan, your screen, whatever it is, you can now tell which model you have because there are different joysticks in the Q1, 2, and 3 as opposed to Q4, I believe, of the Steam Deck models. And then you also have the two different fans, so you can see if you have the annoying fan or if you don't. I think it's pretty easy just to rev up a really intensive game and see, but this is nice to just confirm that you're not crazy. With that, they also, in the past month, added virtual menus. This is a really cool one. It's not one I've used a lot, but it's really useful for games like, let's say, World of Warcraft, or that any game that needs a ton of essentially buttons, use a bunch of different actions. This allows you to have an on-screen virtual just menu. It can be circular or whatever. They have a couple different versions of it, but you can also change the icons and add custom icons. So if you really want a good experience, like in, let's say, if you're playing a game like World of Warcraft, you can go and set your icons to look like the ones that were on World of Warcraft. It takes a lot more work, but they made it so that you can add them in desktop mode, just kind of like you would the boot screen. It just takes a little bit more on with this method, though. And they also gave virtual keyboards an upgrade in the sense of they just fixed a bunch of problems, especially in desktop mode. In desktop mode, if you tried to access the emojis area, it would crash. Also, if you loaded it up the first time, then tried to load it up again, it just reinstantiates, so it reset up the whole keyboard and destroy it every time you bring it up and close it. So they fixed that to where I believe their caching is to where once you've loaded it up once, then you can bring it up and bring it up really quick. And then they properly resize the virtual keyboard in desktop mode. So I noticed that times they would just like resize in the weirdest ways, but now depending on, like, let's say you're on a monitor or on the Steam Deck, it seems like the virtual keyboard sizes properly now. And so that is really it for my updates for the stuff that I think is really interesting that came out in the past month for the Steam Deck. Okay, with that, let me know in the comments below what you think of all these updates. Do you like them? Do you think that it's plenty so far? Also, what bugs, what features would you like? I want to know. Let me know in the comments below. And also go to their forums because you can go and complain there if you want additional fixes or features. Because there's still some more features I'd like I would like first-party API support so I can build some tools for the Steam Deck and not have to use a third-party plugin system that's just not quite as fleshed out as I would like it to be, and it can break depending on updates. So I want something first-party from Valve. It would be amazing. That's my comment, I guess. Also, if you want to find Additional things that I've talked about here, you can find them in a link below. I'll have a link to where all the updates go for Steam Deck. There's a lot, especially in the last month. They've done a lot. Check out all the goodies below, including the new Halloween merch and also any accessories you might need in the description below. And then also check out my other videos, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Later. Maybe you don't realize that which version you got. I think it's crazy that you wouldn't, but you know what? Some people just are crazy, I guess. So you